You might remember that in late 2023, McDonald's announced that they were opening a new restaurant chain called CosMc. But how is that project going today? I dug deep, using publicly available information to find out, and the answer is not that great. McDonald's has experimented with various spin-offs over the years. It opened an international coffee shop called McCafe, a healthy-ish bistro concept called McDonald's Next that opened in Hong Kong, and even a McDonald's for bees. But CosMc might be the most odd spin-off yet. For one, its color scheme is blue, not McDonald's red. For two, it's named after a member of the McDonaldland cast of characters that very few people have ever heard of. CosMc is a 6-armed alien robot who traveled to Earth when he discovered McDonald's. And the restaurant has tried accordingly to channel a space-age, retro-futurism aesthetic inside each location. The food and the drinks are trendy and far more limited than an actual McDonald's. CosMc only has 7 locations, concentrated around Dallas-Fort Worth, San Antonio, and Chicago. The Chicago area location was the first one to open, with small regional expansions coming later in the year in Texas. And so far, the reviews are not great. Customers' complaints are the same ones you normally hear about McDonald's. The food is overpriced, the wait times are long, and of course, the ice cream machine is always broken. But not all the reviews are bad. Some customers liked the concept of the store, others liked the flavor of the food. But when it came out, CosMc was pitched as a competitor to Starbucks in the specialized drinks space, and so far it hasn't been able to perform. In fact, when I compared CosMc's online ratings to the average ratings of the 3 closest Starbucks to it, Starbucks outranked CosMc every single time. Compared to Dutch Bros Coffee, which considers CosMc a competitor, Dutch Bros locations beat out CosMc by nearly a 1-point margin on every single store on a 5-point scale. Even compared to McDonald's locations, which usually don't have high ratings on Google Maps, CosMc's scores are almost always worse. Now, maybe CosMc was a novelty that inspired more comments online, both positive and negative, than a normal restaurant would get. Or maybe people that rate chain restaurants online are more disposed to leave negative ratings than positive ones. But interest also seems to be waning around CosMc. Look at this trend line of searches related to the restaurant. It peaks when the chain is announced, and then slows decisively in the months since. Compare that to searches of McDonald's, which remained consistent over time. But interest isn't the only problem CosMc has. In my opinion, it doesn't actually know what it wants to be. It says that it wants to compete with Starbucks, but has several offerings like pretzels, donut bites, and ice cream that are more at home in a convenience store like Wawa or Sheetz than a coffee shop. Not to mention, the interiors don't even look like coffee shops. CosMc seems to want to incorporate the kind of high tech that you find in restaurants that are common in Japan or Hong Kong, but they don't really offer anything that can't be found anywhere else. Many of their offerings are accessible at McDonald's locations only a mile or 2 away. To my mind, the most similar restaurant to CosMc as it exists right now is Sonic, which generally borrows from the same kind of aesthetic and sells similar types of custom drinks and carnival-type food. But generally speaking, Sonic is more consistent, has more offerings, and is cheaper than CosMc. Don't get me wrong, I like CosMc's aesthetic, and I like that McDonald's is taking a risk. But in my opinion, CosMc is going to have to go back to the drawing board and decide which one of these paths they want to take. Should it invest more heavily in low-cost food assisted by technology? Change the interiors from bland, empty shells to charming coffee shops, or retool its menu to make cheaper, more diverse offerings like hot dogs, milkshakes, and grilled cheese to compete with a restaurant like Sonic. Whatever they choose, they're going to have to do something. Because if these numbers are any indication, this just isn't working.